Hey everybody, and welcome back. Now we're on week 7, and our theme is ethics and social responsibility. Wow, I can't believe that we are a week 7. This thing's almost done. One more week, and we are finished with this course. Last week, you researched the CSR policy of your business, and we started questioning some of the labor practices throughout the world, and talked about how capitalism and international business essentially sort of is complicit in the exploitation of a lot of workers, a lot of people who are weak. And we talked about how there's this huge disparity in terms of power and wealth, and how some who are very, very powerful are able to continue to exploit the weak. These are all questions of social justice. So starting last week, we really have been already talking to some extent about social responsibility and ethical issues. But the big question this week is, what do we do about it? And I would argue that there's 3 answers to that question that we're going to discuss. One is public policy. That is, should the government be more involved? Are all these problems so huge that it's not really possible for corporations or for individuals to take a hold of that? Should the government be involved? Should they not? Are these problems that we're just going to allow to continue? I mean, what are we going to do about it? And so a lot of people turn toward public policy as one option as far as dealing with those ethical challenges. The second one is corporate social responsibility itself. How can businesses address the problems that we have described? And there are a great deal many more than simply the issue of labor. I mean, a lot is connected to that, right? But we've also talked about environmental problems. We have talked about, sustainability goals in the United Nations. And so those are other things that you may want to think about in terms of major problems and the questions of whether or not public policy or corporate social responsibility should be addressing those. And the final really is personal ethics. What role do you play as an individual? What difference can you make? Now, of course, already you can make differences in terms of being a consumer or a concerned citizen, but at some point you may become a business leader, if you're not already. And then the question is, well, what's the right thing to do as an individual, right? How should we guide business and industry, or how should we advise government on some of these big questions in terms of ethics, or how will you behave when it comes to some ethically challenging situations? As far as your assignments are concerned, you can continue to work on the global business plan, and the major components this week really are trying to write up an executive summary and working on your final presentation in anticipation of turning in your global business plan next week. You will find videos on those available here online, and so if you want to understand what my expectations are, that's where you should look. As I have said before, let me know if you need any help. We are coming to the end of this course. This may be crunch time for some of you, and maybe a time for you to reach out and let me review some of your work or talk to you about things that maybe you don't understand, having a hard time with. That's what I'm here for. I'd like to continue to support you as you come to the end of this course. So best of luck as you tie up these final assignments, and I'll see you next time.